I make the money like magic.
Let me just start this video by telling you that this is not an MT-15. This is the Yamaha MT-03, or like you would call it, the MT-03. And this is a full-fledged bike with a good... What? Oh, ये conclusion है? Okay. So I have a lot to tell you about this bike, which I will in the entire course of this video, and whether you should spend 4.60 lakh on this bike, or maybe you would be better off buying some other 300cc bike. But for that, you'll have to watch the entire video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BikeWale. You are watching the road test review of the MT-03. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to BikeWale. Now there is a reason why I said this is not the MT-15, because when you look at the front profile, or rather the entire bike, its design and the way its bodywork is, it looks quite similar to its younger sibling. For example, this center set projector light with these DRLs and this muscular tank, this scoop seat, the split seat, everything is just very similar to the MT-15. However, when you look at its proportions, it looks slightly larger. But when on road, this doesn't really look like a 300cc bike. Now, this bike looks good regardless, but we think Yamaha could have done a better job in terms of design, maybe given it some elements that would segregate it from the MT-15 and make it look like a thoroughbred 300cc bike. That said, looks are subjective, and these wheels, the blue colored ones, make the bike's proportions pop out and give a nice contrasting theme to the overall greyish paint scheme. And then the MT-03 has some nice nifty details, like you see this groove here on the front fender, this scoop or sort of air intake here on the tank extension, and another groove here. While these are some smart details, we think Yamaha still could have done a better job in making the MT-03 look different than the MT-15.
I got the heart of a legend.
We already know that the Yamaha MT-03 uses the same engine as the R3, so it has the same character too. You will find yourself riding peacefully in the city, modulating the clutch easily, and all of this in a very calm manner. But once you find an open stretch of the road, oh what fun it is to go full clip all the way to the red line, bang through the gears while gunning for the top speed. Both ends of the spectrums come very natural to the MT-03's engine. It gets a strong low and mid-range, which makes the usability quotient very high for the MT-03. The gearbox offers slick shifts and the overall engine performance feels solid. Now, in one of our previous videos, you heard the R3. Now, the MT-03 is essentially the same bike with different styling. But what does it sound like? Let's find out. Do you like the MT-03's exhaust note? Let us know in the comments below. In terms of handling, we found the MT-03 very agile and light on its feet. Even in terms of direction changes, or even if you have to move it in tight spaces, the MT is quite easy. However, getting used to its cramped rider triangle needs a conscious effort. The bike could be better off with a wider handlebar. In its current state, you feel a little pressure on your wrist and elbows, which is slightly uncomfortable at the start. Yamaha has got the MT's braking and suspension quite right. Its brakes, although non-adjustable, offer good bite, feel and feedback. The lever placement is on point and doesn't require any hard squeeze to shed the speeds. It slows down the bike in a predictable manner and without much ABS intrusion. We rode the MT across various road conditions in Mumbai, from immaculate highways to broken local roads riddled with potholes. Not once did the MT's springs feel stiff or backbreaking. The setup is pliant enough to absorb all the bumps and patchy roads without really transferring any of it to your back. This too makes the bike very convenient to ride in the city, or even if you were to take it to the ghats on a Sunday. In fact, we would love to put the MT-03 on a touring test if the opportunity presents. Since the MT-03 uses the same engine as the R3, Its fuel efficiency figures are also similar, and you can expect about 29 kilometers per liter, which could vary slightly as per your riding style and traffic conditions. The build quality on the MT-03 is top-notch, just like the R3. The paint quality and the finishing levels are premium, the panel fitments are consistent, and the plastic quality too feels worth every penny. Even the switch cubes are sturdy and have a nice click every time you use them. Given that the MT-03 comes at a high asking price, we expected its build quality to be upmarket, and that is exactly what this bike delivered. By the looks of it, the MT-03 looks fairly comfortable, but is it? Let's find out. As you hop on the saddle, you can instantly notice that everything from the handlebar to the foot peg is quite neutrally placed. But the seat is slightly dense, and the way it is scooped, you sit in the bike rather than being on the bike. And the handlebar, I think it should have been wider so it would offer you more leverage, because here when you sit in this position, in this manner right now as we are, you can see that there is a lot of pressure here on my elbows, and had the handlebar been wider, I would have had more leverage to turn the bike around, or say even if I was gunning for top speed, or say if I was cornering on this bike. As of now, I still sit with my elbows slightly pointed outside, and if I were to scoot back, then my elbows would come on the inside, which is not very comfortable in case you plan to do long distance touring on this, which we think would be seldom. To sum it up, the MT-03 has a lovely engine, a solid build engine that you can accelerate all the way to 12,000 RPM and the bike still keeps going strong. And then it has good suspension, which means you can ride it out on the highway if you're going for long rides, or even use it daily as your daily commuter in the city where the roads are broken and sometimes not. And then it handles well, so you can take it to the ghats for a spirited ride. Then it offers overall good build quality, and then you also get the bragging rights of owning an imported motorcycle, because this comes as a CBU from Indonesia. However, it gets less features, or I rather say barely any features, and is priced at 4.60 lakh, which is a lot when you compare it to the other 300cc bikes available in the segment. But this is where things get tricky. In the 300 to 400cc naked bike segment, the MT-03 is the only bike that comes with 2 cylinders. Apart from that, all the other bikes, say the KTM 390 Duke, the TVS Apache RTR 310, or any other range that you know, in India, come with a single cylinder engine. So if you're looking for a multi-cylinder bike in the 300 to 400cc naked bike class, then the MT-03 is your only option, provided the pricing doesn't pinch you.